Okay, so I'm gonna be doing a, I guess, mini guide for Roadhog on his bad maps. I'm anticipating I'll do obviously this map, Circuit Royale, Havana, and Kings Row, which in my opinion are probably off the top of my head through and through Roadhog's worst maps in the game. For different reasons. There's a lot of overlap between, especially this map and Havana. People always, when you ask people what counters Roadhog, they'll probably say something along the lines of Ana or Diva, and I think that's only partially true. I think what really counters Hog is either hard poke or hard rush, right? You either want to go just waste his resources and make it impossible for him to rotate to a spot where he can actually go for a hook, and if he actually manages to get somewhere he can go for a hook, you just spam him out so he just dies during it, right? You hard focus him just out of his range where he can't like do anything, or you just run into his face and force him off the objective so he can't even like have time to get a hook, or just kill him, right? So now obviously both those characters kind of help facilitate either or playstyle wise, right? So I'm gonna go through I guess both on offense and defense. I'm gonna do this by point, so like I'll say how to go do offense on first and then defense on first, just so it's a little faster. So my first tip playing Hog in this map is just to swap to Sigma. Yeah, Roadhog is very very bad on this map. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this map just naturally plays into his first strength, or the first way to beat him, right? You just hard poke him. First point is like probably Roadhog's worst point in the entire game. Second point, honestly, actually isn't that bad for him. Third point is also like not very good. I wouldn't say it's like horrible, but it's not great. First point, like you can just really easily poke him out, and there are no like quick off angles, right? I'm sure you can just see looking on offense, like it's just horrible, right? There's no quick flanks you can do, no quick like rotations you can make to catch people off guard. You're just gonna be eating a ton of damage pretty much no matter what you do. So really on offense, the cart isn't really great cover. You're pretty much stuck playing here. I'll try to taunt, right? You can see. I wish I had the default taunt on. Okay, whatever. You can see basically you're like the same size as the card here, but the moment you peek beyond it, right, you're just a huge target, and they can shoot under the card. Especially Sig, it's super annoying, because you can just shoot under there, and the projectiles will blow up on you, right? You can expect on this map, especially in higher ranks, they'll be running Sig, double hit scan, BAPS N, and if you start accomplishing anything, they'll probably swap that BAP for an Ana, and you'll just be miserable. Needless to say, if your Widow's better, or at least, comparable to the enemy Widow, and you're putting decent pressure on the shield, you have a chance of winning, especially if you have a Curie, right? But this map's rough. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, right? So, anyways, really, what you want to do? Just sit on cart, get 3 on cart, ideally until you get to this corner, and then your teammates can start taking angles or whatever. And you want to be pushing cart until you get right here, right? You're gonna be eating spam regardless, unfortunately, because they have high ground. And like I said, the cart isn't great. If they have any like height advantage, they can see over cart and spam you. And once you get cart about here, you can take this angle here, right? Wait to get healed a little, and start pressuring the high ground, right? So you at least have like some options here to do like quick rotations. Do something like that. Don't jump that far out, obviously, but try to hook there, catch someone off guard, or just rotate up here. Play around this cover here. Jump out. You can hook people if they try to back up here or something like that. You have at least a decent angle here. It's pretty much like your perfect range, right? And if there's Sig's playing here, you're gonna shoot him a little. Jump out, hook someone there, something like that, right? While you're distracting up here, your team should be pushing cart. If they back up in this angle, you can catch people decently if they're trying to rotate away from the staircase, obviously. You can catch people about out to this tree from here, right? If they rotate far away, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do. And once carts gets further up, you can drop, play card again, play this close angle, spam them out. Keep playing cart. Honestly, you don't really get much value from going this way the vast majority of the time, because once cart gets here, people will already be taking angles and not be so close where you can actually hook them anyways. So, get cart here, just keep shooting. You can shoot main here, do a quick flick, over there. right? That's another decent hook spot, right? Catch someone off guard, maybe someone's there. But really, you want to, usually, you can force people away. As long as you allow your team to swing and take these angles here, right? Once you have card here, you know, keep pushing. Until you get here, right? Once you get here, this is kind of final fight territory. Really, what you want to be doing is playing over here, if card's here, right? So you block the LOS of the people up here. This is kind of like the problem you have on the very first push, right? If they have high ground, they can just shoot over a card, right? So if you deny LOS from these people, you can still get healed by your supports, right? If you start taking too much fire, get the Mega back up this way, still get healed by your supports, right? And you know, you just shoot main, go out for a quick hook like that, you know, rotate this way, something like that, you know, you're still pretty safe. Try to hook the people up there or something like that. Maybe just kill the Sig if he's just wasting his cooldown at some point. Yeah. I will say, sometimes the only good thing about this map is like, usually if people lose a fight here, you can just cap it out. And usually when that happens, I like to come over here, kind of set up at this fast angle, right? Because people will be looking here for the recontest, and if you're just here, catch someone off guard, just one shot them, right? You're pretty much guaranteed to get the cap. No problem if you don't, right? You just kind of run away, kind of get through here. You know, as long as you time it correctly, you're not getting chased by 5 people. You can run away easily back to card or something, right? Help you get healed by your team. Okay, kind of in reverse now. Oh, I will mention, this is like the only, you can ult here and knock people off the map. It's like the only place on the map that's realistically going to happen. You can sometimes, like if their comp isn't good, they're not on the SIG comp, get away with playing this car. The problem is, if they're on a good comp and like they get a pick or something, right, which is going to happen all the time. This is a super good sniper map. Your rotation away from this card is just going to take too long or be too exposed. So really, generally, what I like to do is just to play up here with my team, at least by default, right? You know, you can play this cover here, and at the very least, you know, you can't really control there. When cards like here, kind of like where I said, card gets here, you can rotate up. You can start influencing card and watch the stairway here, rotating over here, because at least you have a close angle for SIG here, right? So it's at least something you can do, and not just feed the enemy DPS charge or get spammed out. But generally speaking, you know, you're gonna lose this fight if it goes on for too long. In which case, really, what you want to do is not die, because like I said, if you die here, you're not going to be able to get a recontest, especially as Hog. You're going to get stunned or discorded or antied and just explode if you try to recontest, right? Unless your Widow literally just like pops off and kills 3, you're just never going to be able to recontest, so you really need to play your life. The good thing about this angle, it's close, so you can actually trade with the SIG decently, and you can back up a little and hook people off high ground should they want to peek, right? Your team has decent angles, right? They can play like this statue or something, play behind you, you know, something, right? It's okay if you play the close angle here, but if you start losing, right, you also have a very quick retreat path. Just go this way. It's the same thing, right? You start playing this thing right here. Someone tries to push, you know, go for a quick off angle there or something like that, right? You know, keep letting the card go back. Once the card gets here, right? Like this place kind of really sucks for Hog. Kind of stuck playing cart, and you don't, since you're on defense, right, you don't have that like rectangular thing to hide behind, so you're going to eat a ton of damage, unfortunately, and it's very hard to defend. So you kind of have to look for a quick pick, right? Shoot main, maybe the SIG overextends or something, but you have okay cover here, right? As long as your DPS are properly set up, it's not the end of the world. And if they try to take aggressive angles there, you still hook them, right? So yeah, just do your best to do that. Here, actually on second point, like I said, not too bad. You can abandon card here because there's a lot of cover, right? If they try to over-aggress there, you can hook them. And you can also play around this cover here, right? I'm sure you can see, you hook the tank, bring them down here. Now you can body block them, and they have a really hard time getting a good angle on you to kill you, right? If they do that, like, they try to feed to save their tank, you're giving a lot of space for your DPS to get picks. Or at least forcing out a lot of resources, right? You can see there are a lot of angles you can watch here. No one's really over here ever, but sometimes you can catch people in rotations where they don't back up fast enough. You have decent cover here, right? Like, you start getting fired, just drop down. You're perfectly safe here. Your supports can heal you. You know, if you really need to, back up along this wall and play down here. You have a lot of options here, you know. But once cards gets around here, I usually just, you know, keep pushing card again until you get about here. And then here, this is another decent spot, right? Play main. Hook there, for example. Someone might be there. Someone might be back here. You can also swing out here. Hook here. Sometimes it'll be like a Hanzo, just like wall climbing here or something. Something like that. Right, it's at least decent for you. And if they're giving up a lot of space, instead of going main and getting a ton of damage, look, you actually have a really decent amount of cover here from this angle. You can easily push up this way and look for people you can kill, right? You have actually decent cover here for once on this map. But you know, playing card is never a bad thing, especially on offense. It's hog on this map. You know, keep playing here. The card's about to cap out. You can rotate over here. You know, you have decent angles here again. And then you can just rotate cart, right? I don't recommend going this way because it really makes it kind of rough for like people to help you. Your angles are kind of bad. You can get away with it sometimes, right? If their SIG's about to touch, just play the close angle, right? Like if they don't really have good angles themselves, you can play the close angle and then like ult them away from card or something, or you know, just destroy the SIG's resources. Okay, regardless. On defense, really, by default, you're going to be wanting to set up here. Around this corner generally. It's kind of the same thing on offense, right? You can go for quick rotations, like, and control a ton on the map, right? Maybe the tank's up here, DPS or supports on the card, swing around here, get a quick pick, or, you know, hook the tank around here, mess them up, right? And I will say, you can actually hook people from low ground and bring them up here. At least put them in a trap and one-shot them, right? Your hook actually does go that far, right? They think they're safe a lot of times rotating through here, but you actually can hook them. I will say sometimes, depending on the timing, like if their tank's going too fast, you can drop down here, hook here, bring them here, and kill them very easily, right? It is riskier because you know, kind of the same problem in the first point. The sight lines are really long and they don't have to really peek your DPS to shoot you here, but it's not the end of the world, right? You can, as long as you don't get antied here, you're probably gonna live. But I would do it as like a toss-up option. I wouldn't, you know, bank on it too much. But you can definitely stall cart here as a long time as Roadhog, right? Your team can get decent angles, and you can control pretty much every angle they can walk through from here very easily, right? Like no one really comes up here. But if they do, you know, it's something you can do. Someone wall climbs up there or something, you can hit them here, hit them here. Like you can control a lot of the map just by standing here. If they start pressuring you, no problem. Like, so you can really quickly break their LOS without breaking your teammates' LOS, right? So, if they start pressuring out, no problem. Just back up. Play cart, right? You can play here-ish. Unfortunately, when cart, it's kind of like the same problem on first. You don't have great cover. You can kind of play around here-ish, I'd say. Let your team play everywhere else. Because you still have decent options to control their angles, right? But the problem is they have a lot more angles, and it's a lot harder for you to break their angles as well. So yeah, second point, again, not too bad. I just showcased. Okay, third point. Offense, again, kind of stuck on cart. I will say, sometimes you can get away with coming here. You're going for a hook early here. Kind of similarly, like if you wipe them on that point. You can play up here too. Try to catch someone off guard, right? Swing around the corner, hook up there or something like that. You have decent cover here as long as you back up early enough. Because, you know, as long as you don't get stunned, you won't die up here. These pillars are decent for not getting stunned. But again, you're kind of just sitting on cart until you get to this angle, and then you're taking at the very least, a close fight with the SIG, until you can pressure him off this angle, right? And then this kind of sucks here, right? Kind of same problem with first. This off angle kind of sucks. Rarely you'll be able to just swing in here and kill someone, but you're kind of stuck on cart, and as you can see, you get here and like it kind of blows. Like, yeah, you can hook people if the cart's like here-ish from there, and obviously from here they can break it really easily, and they can just stand on these staircases too, and you can't do anything. You just have to hope your team goes upper, because you just take too long to rotate upper, and you can't do anything yourself upper, right? You just have to hope DPS pressure from different angles and just help you come main, right? So, yeah, just play cover as well as you can on card and look for people that are overextended, right? Do your best to waste the Sig's resources. Yeah, like I said, this is like shooting fish in a barrel for them. And this angle really just sucks. On defense, very rarely, like if their comp is bad, you can get away with playing all the way up here. The problem is that your rotations away suck, right? They're really long, right? So if you play here-ish, you know, you can sometimes get away with rotating here if you're fast enough, right? Wait a second, and then run. As you can see, like, this really sucks. The only way you're probably ever going to live is if you do something like this. You play up here, but if their comp isn't good, right, your team can get way better angles than they can, right? They only have 2 options to push this point. This kind of sucks, you know. Not very good, and you can control both from here. It's something to consider. Generally, honestly, like, you're kind of stuck playing here and not dying similarly to first. You can control pretty much every angle that they can shoot you from here, right? You can control here, here, main, and you know, if they're going away, you can catch them. See, that didn't reach, but like, yeah, as you can see, yeah, this part kind of sucks, right? The only good thing about this last is that, right, they have a close angle to push against you, which can work in your favor as long as your team is taking decent angles, right? And it's also kind of difficult for people to go through here unless they, you know, just start winning on the off angles. But you can hold Sig close here fairly consistently, right? As long as you're consistently spamming down a shield. Yeah, I mean, again, kind of sucks. It's kind of open, not a lot of cover. I think a recurring theme with like the final fights on this map, there's just not a lot of cover for you to play around, which is why it sucks, right? So just play your life as well as you can, because if you die kind of like on first or third, you're just kind of screwed, unfortunately. So, yeah, I hope this helps.